Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is 11:59 right now. We're going to get started as close to 12 o'clock as we possibly can because it is a fun-filled hour. It is going to be packed. We have a lot of things to get through, and then we have a lot of folks to recognize for their years of service. So we want to make sure we leave time for that as well. So we're going to start this right at 12 o'clock, and then folks can join as they get in. We've got, I think at this point, almost 400 folks who will be joining us. We are so grateful to have you here. A couple of housekeeping things. Folks always ask, can you hear me? Can you see me? This is a webinar, so we will not be able to see or hear you. So feel free to get up, walk around, eat lunch, let the dogs in or out. But this is a webinar. If you do have any questions for us, feel free to reach out at staffassembly@ucr.edu. For those folks who maybe weren't able to join us as well, this will be available via our Facebook page. But we are right at 12 p.m. I want to leave as much time as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, everybody. This is the Staff Assembly Fall General Meeting. We are so excited to have you. We know some of you are on campus, some of you are remote. I am on campus today, so this is one of the days I'm on here. But before we get started, we would like to start with a land acknowledgement.
We at UCR would like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Kauai, Tongva, Luiseño, and Serrano peoples, and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, this meeting place is home to many indigenous peoples from all over the world, including UCR faculty, students, and staff. And we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands.
Thank you. That was provided by Curtis Washington, who is the Assistant Mail Processor and Distribution Services. And I have to say, every time I hear Curtis's voice doing that land acknowledgement, I get chills. He is also a voice over artist and specialist. So please reach out if you know somebody who needs a voiceover person, because Curtis is one of the best. All right. I'd like to also acknowledge our Staff Assembly Executive Board. There are their names and their positions. This is an all-volunteer organization, so we are very grateful for these very talented folks who not only do their quote-unquote day jobs, but give above and beyond in support of our UCR staff. You will have the opportunity to meet several of them later when they talk a little bit more about the projects and activities that are going on in their area. And with that, I would like to introduce our first featured speaker. Dean Darrell Williams of the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, better known as CHASS. Darrell serves as UC Riverside's Dean of the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Prior to coming to UCR in September 2021, Darrell spent most of his academic career at the University of Maryland and internationally. His teaching and scholarship focus on modern Latin America, especially 19th and 20th century Brazilian history. His work to build enslaved.org, an online database documenting the experiences of enslaved people, has won widespread national media attention since its launch in December 2020. Darrell earned an undergraduate history degree and certificate in Latin American studies from Princeton University and a master's and PhD in history from Stanford University. Darrell and his husband, Stephen, live in historic downtown Riverside. Please welcome Dean Darrell Williams.
All right, basic. Thank you very much, Jeff. Can you hear me? Because I can't see myself. Are we good? Someone give me a thumbs up. Yes, perfect. All right. Thank you so much. I am actually talking from historic downtown Riverside. I am in my empty home right now. My husband and I own a home on Mount Riverview, but our because of the supply chain and labor challenges, our belongings remain in Washington, D.C., but hopefully they'll be here in the next 2 weeks or so. So it's a pleasure to be here. I want to share with you all that when I was a candidate, I was doing some, sort of secret shopping and cyber sleuthing, and I attended some of the staff assembly meetings during their return to campus, or really they've been a return to campus conversation fully. But it was around, nature of campus closures and health and safety. And so I really got some view about the significance of staff and the concerns and the experience of staff at UCR in this really, really difficult period that we've all been through and continue to go through. So it's an honor now to be with you all. This particular moment as now a member of the community and particularly as Dean of CHAZ, as many of you know, the largest college on campus that has about 12,000 or so majors and about 300 and change faculty members and 160 or so staff members. So, our scale and size is really significant, and I'm really proud to be in part of that community and be in a capacity to lead it. I have observed a couple of things coming here that are in part based upon the significance of staff in particular in advancing the mission of the college, but also in some of my experience at my previous institution, University of Maryland, and the significance of staff and especially staff representation. Wanted to share with you all that in a university that embraces shared governance as much as we do here at UCR, I have been struck that there aren't as many opportunities for staff to participate in governance and decision-making. And I'm not sure why that is exactly, but within the capacities that I do have within the college, I'm looking for some ways to increase participation in staff voices and staff decision-making in areas, including resource allocation, but also in terms of mission and just, being at the table together. So some of you are aware that I'm trying to figure out some structures that exist within existing shared governance, but also if necessary, we'll create some new ones in our college. And I hope that that's a experience and an opportunity that's useful for members of the college, but also as a model for what the university can do. Some of you may also know in the college that I am interested in supporting and advancing our educational and research mission and our student experience, student success in particular, and staff are central to that. So I have already made some decisions about investing in student academic advising and growing that because we are just, for such a central area, we are understaffed there, but also in the research area as well. And so those are kind of two areas immediately have come to mind in terms of the necessity of advancing these areas, but also, it's about developing those areas as for staff professionals as well. And so some of you on the call may be aware of some questions I've been asking and some opportunities I'm going to hopefully be able to a position to pursue. Kind of more broadly, I just want to say it's just a tremendous honor and a little exciting, and it's more than a little exciting. It's very exciting, but a little scary actually to join this university at a time when thousands of students are coming to campus after being denied the opportunity to be on campus for such a long time. And staff, of course, and faculty members have also been denied that opportunity. So it's very exciting, but also anxiety producing. And I know there's been a lot of, challenges, difficulties, fears. And I'm particularly been really, really focused on those thousands of students, many of them who not just been on our campus for the first time, but any college campus in their lives, to be with them and all of us to be focused on their success, because that's why we're here. But also recognize that each of us at any level of the university also have to kind of go through that this process together. And I'm hopeful that I am in a position to amplify and advance the success of our students, but in doing so also, of course, think about that for our faculty and staff as well. So I welcome this opportunity to talk to you and hear your questions and concerns and see some fantastic shout outs of members of the staff who are about to be honored. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dean Williams, for coming and talking with us. And now we have a giveaway, a raffle item, which is happy hour libation of your choice with Dean Darrell Williams. We picked from those who were pre-registered, and I am pleased to announce that today's winner is Wendy Williams Clark. Congratulations, Wendy Williams. I will get in touch with you about how to claim your prize.
Congratulations, Wendy. Look forward to it. Now, do I unmute now or not? If someone will just help me, tell me what to do.
Fair enough. Go ahead and mute, and we're going to pass it over to Agam Patel.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Dean Gerald Williams, for being with us and supporting Staff Assembly. My name is Agam Patel. I am the Vice President for Staff Assembly, as well as the Associate Director here at UCR's Palm Desert Center. We wanted to spend the next a few minutes to talk about how we are working with various campus partners to best spend some of the $1.7 million in HARF funding. One of those initiatives is a staff pantry. And joining us to talk a little bit about this is Cecily Lewis, Basic Needs Senior Manager, who will be providing an update. Take it away, Cecily.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon. As Agam already mentioned, my name is Cecily Lewis, and I serve as the Basic Needs Senior Manager for the UCR campus in our Basic Needs department. So I'm gonna take a quick moment to kind of give our department a shout out so that you all know what we do. We work with emergency resources for students experiencing specifically food and housing insecurity. So we have programs ranging from the Art Pantry, which a lot of you are probably familiar with that program already, where students are able to get grocery support, hygiene products, some childcare items as well. We have our emergency housing program for students who are experiencing immediate homelessness or housing displacement. We have CalFresh Outreach. We have a student grocery program. We have a plethora of resources. And so we're super excited to be able to take on this extension of the Art Pantry and be able to work with our staff on campus and extend the Art Pantry to staff. We have been able to hire a limited position staff person for the staff portion of the Art Pantry, and they will be beginning next week. So I'm super excited about what that looks like. We have 2 staff pantry pop-up dates already set up for November 18th. So that's right, I wanna say the week before Thanksgiving. And that's also happens to be the week of homelessness and Housing and Homeless Awareness Month. That's also Homeless and Housing Awareness Week, the week of the 18th. So we're excited to be able to offer this during that week. And then we have another pop-up that's scheduled for Thursday, December 9th. And our locations, we're still determining what's going to be the best location. We're working towards a location that feels comfortable for staff to be able to access. We want to reduce stigma as much as possible, while also making sure that you all and staff who are in need of these resources receive the resources without feeling by feeling respected and without feeling like there's a lot of stigma attached to it. We want you to feel comfortable in accessing the resources. So we're working on what the best location is going to be. So please stay tuned. Again, the first pop-up is going to be November 18th, and we will share more information as more information becomes available. So again, I look forward to seeing you all, look forward to working with you all, and hope that you all will advertise this resource and that you will take full advantage of it as well.
Thank you, Cecily, for all the important work you are doing to improve the experience for our staff. Our next guest speaker is Demetrius Patrick, Manager of Workplace Health and Wellness. And he will be giving all of you an update on how Staff Assembly is working with Central Human Resources to spend the $250,000 allocation on additional mental health resources. So take it away, Patrick. Demetrius.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for that introduction. And I'm excited to be with you this afternoon so that I could tell you a little bit more about what we're doing with Staff Assembly. First, starting next month, we're going to have the Healthy Holiday Challenge. That's something that we've done in the past, but we're going to do it again, and this time bring a mental health focus to it. So that will start in November, and it'll go through the beginning of January. So that's first. We're also looking at Rest and Revive series. We're going to do that with yoga. And we're going to, that's going to focus on sleep and rejuvenation, which is key to mental health. After that, we're going to transition into Mission Possible. That is also a wellness program that we run in the past. This one's also going to focus on mental health with team challenges that focus on mental health activities. We're going to partner again with our faculty and staff assistance program and provide additional information there. In addition to that, we're going to run a webinar series with the faculty and staff assistance program. Many of you have participated in our webinars so far, but we're going to do an actual series. So we're going to have a mental health series. We're also going to do a supervisor and manager series, and then a staff well-being series. So 3 different tracks, all focusing on mental health. And then one of the more popular requests we've received is bringing the therapy fluffies on campus for staff. We actually had this planned before the pandemic, and we're working on putting that in place. It was requested a lot, so we are working on that as well. One of the other things we were looking at is doing a mental health fair to bring in mental health resources to campus so people could access those very easily. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is ComPsych is our faculty and staff assistance program. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They provide counseling services free of charge the first 3. And if you need additional care beyond that, they'll help you transition to your healthcare plan. But I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. We have additional information on our website, our benefits website. If you have any questions about that program, you can email me or benefits@ucr.edu. I just put in the chat the telephone number and then the direct website and the login information for ComPsych. So that's what we're working on right now for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Demetrius. We really appreciate it. And we are working very closely with both Demetrius and Cecily to make sure that we find ways to provide that HERF allocation to all of you. We realize that the last few years have been difficult on everyone, but they've also been very difficult on our staff. And so with Demetrius, with Cecily, with Leila Dennis, who works in human resources, we are trying to find ways to provide additional resources and basic needs in mental health and in professional development, and more will come from that. I also want to talk a little bit about something else that's coming up, and that is the CUCSA Climate Engagement Survey. For those of you who've been here a while, you may already know about it. It is something that happens every 2 years, and it's from the Council of UC Staff Assemblies, known as CUCSA. You may be familiar with CUCSA because the chair this year is former Staff Assembly President Crystal Petrini, and the chair-elect is Dennis McIver, another former president of Staff Assembly. But every 2 years, the Council of Staff Assemblies supports and promotes a UC system-wide survey that is sent to about 30% of policy-covered staff. And some of you may have taken it, but it asks a lot of questions about the work life here at UC Riverside as well as the other UC campuses. And while we have the results to that survey, we're going to share those results. We're going to share some trends that we saw, areas we saw for improvement, opportunities to develop. But we're going to make that a formal presentation to you starting next month. It's going to be in collaboration with human resources. And then we're also going to be working with senior leadership, with the chancellor, with the provost, with the chief financial officer and others to find ways that we can address areas of concern and continue to build them out. I will give you a broad overview and just tell you that things have improved somewhat. Communication between supervisors and staff is better. But there are other areas where we could continue to grow. Professional development, promoting from within. I think Flexible work is an area that we will be talking about for quite some time. So we're also hoping to have a series of conversations on each of these issues. So it's not necessarily just about one presentation. We're hoping that over the course of the next 6-8 months, we can have a seminar where we talk about nothing but professional development, or we talk about promoting from within the ranks of our UCR staff, and we can engage relevant campus leaders to not only hear their thoughts, but also provide you an opportunity to ask them questions directly. So more to come on that. Just know that the presentation for the engagement survey will be next month. And we will also, via our newsletter, via our website, we will publish those results for you as well. It's your survey. We want to be as transparent as possible. We are here to advocate on your behalf, but we want to hear what you have to say. And again, if there are specific concerns that you may have, feel free to send those to us at staffassembly@ucr.edu, because at the end of the day, we're here to represent you. We're here to support you, and we want to share your concerns with the folks that the decision makers, for lack of a better term. And with that, I'd like to turn it back over to Vice President, President-elect Agam Patel, who's going to talk a little bit more about advocacy.
Thank you, Jeff. And speaking of representation and advocacy, I wanted to remind all of you that Staff Assembly is always working hard on behalf of all of you, and we are also working behind the scenes in a number of ways. We advocate for you through regular meetings with campus leadership, as well as host campus-wide town halls on important issues that might come up during the course of the year. Your voice is heard in a number of ways. Most recently, staff are represented on a variety of committees, such as the Campus Finance Committee, on senior leadership recruitments, such as the Vice Provost for International Affairs, Vice Chancellor University Advancement, and Intercollegiate Athletics Director. We are also part of the 2022 Commencement Committee, as well as a Regents visit. So we are happy to be your voice and happy to represent and advocate on your behalf. As always, we'd love to hear from you. Please reach out to us via our email, staffassembly@ucr.edu, or via our social media channels. Thank you, and I'll turn it over to my colleague, Julie, our Director of Events.
Hi, everyone. We have some exciting things happening coming up. We have our Halloween costume contest. Submissions are due by 5 p.m. on November 1st. You can start now, though. We have 9 different categories. We have a home decorations category, a family costume, and a pet costume category. So if your home is decorated, take a picture, go to our website, post it there. And then we also have our staff memorial garden. It's coming up on November 19th. We do want to honor those that have passed in the last couple years. And we also have our Highlanders with Cubs group. This group, I became part of this group. I became a mom overnight. I adopted 2 kids in 2020. And this group has been awesome support. Thank you, thank you. And our holiday event on December 16th, it's gonna look a little different, but you wanna be there. You're gonna get some cocoa, some cookies, and possibly a signature mug. And I will turn it over to Melanie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. As Julie said, my name is Melanie. I'm in charge of marketing and communications for Staff Assembly. And what that means, our job as advocates for you means that we need to be in conversation with you. We'd like to be involved in lively, engaging conversations on social media, via email, on our websites. So I'm inviting you today to please get connected with us here at Staff Assembly on whatever social media platform you choose. I'm going to drop the links all in the chat. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Eventbrite, YouTube, Localist, And I also included the link to our website. That is where we put all the information about all the fantastic work that my colleagues in Staff Assembly are doing in collaboration with each other, as well as with our partners over in Central Human Resources. If you visit the Staff Assembly webpage, you'll find lots of upcoming events. If you scroll down on the homepage, some of those are presented by Staff Assembly directly. Others are presented by our partners on campus. So I also wanted to include this information. If your unit or department is putting together an event that you think would be interesting and relevant to the UCR staff audience, we would love to partner with you and help get the word out about it. And this is the best way to do it. Please use the link on our website to submit the information about your event, and then I can get in touch with you within a couple days so we can discuss the best way to do it. Obviously, when we're working in advance for something like the newsletter, we need the information sooner rather than later, but on social media, we have a bit more agility, but we would still like to get that out there as soon as possible. So please get in touch with us, stay connected with us, chat with us. We're interested and eager to hear from you. That's all I have, but while you're at the website, please also to make sure to sign yourself up for the Staff Assembly newsletter. It's not an automatic added list. You actually have to opt in. So go to staffassembly.ucr.edu, look for the newsletter sign up, and take care of that today. With that, thank you again. And I'm going to hand it over to Erica, who's going to talk to you a bit about professional development.
Thank you so much, Melanie. And talking about that newsletter, one of the very cool things you'll see in that newsletter is some information on professional development. So I am your new Director of Professional Development for Staff Assembly. One of the items that is going to be coming up for November is our November Lunch and Learn, and it's going to be focused on navigating career opportunities at UCR. Now we have some special hosts for this Lunch and Learn. That's going to be Emma Geach and Paul Pena from our amazing talent acquisition and diversity outreach team in human resources. And that's going to be November 17th from 12 to 1. So if you have time available, I highly encourage you to join. They'll be talking about how to navigate UCR jobs, the postings, what the job postings requirements are. They'll be helping with some tips on resumes, interviews, and what those interview panels can have. So just to help you kind of prepare for that. Also, we have our Highlander Mentor Connect. We'll be opening up recruitment for that in November for our winter cohort. So please stay tuned. We're also going to be sending out a professional development survey because we want to hear from you on what you're interested in as far as professional development topics for our Lunch and Learn and other events for Staff Assembly. So please take a look for that. That'll be coming out later this week. And finally, we will be having our Staff Spring Professional Development Retreat in March. That's going to be the 22nd and 23rd. That's a partnership with LEAD and Central Human Resources, Staff Assembly, and I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, but please join us. It's going to be a wonderful event, and we hope to see you there. So thank you so much. And with that, I will pass it over to Bree.
Thank you, Erica. That was such great information. So as a returning Director of Involvement and Recognition, my name is Brianna Morales, just for reference. I'm super excited to announce that the Get Recognized program has begun for the 2021-2022 academic year. For those of you who are not familiar with this program, every month from September to May, we encourage staff to nominate their peers to be recognized for all their dedication and hard work that they do every day. And each month, the recognition committee reviews submissions and selects 2 winners. The winners are celebrated in a monthly virtual ceremony via Zoom. And on that note, the September Get Recognized winners will be announced tomorrow. So please look out for that email from me. And the official ceremony for the September winners will be next Thursday, October 28th at 12:05. So I really hope to see all of you there. And I will now turn it over to Director of Fundraising, Jules.
Hello, I'm Jules Bernstein, and you've heard already today about some of the great ways that Staff Assembly supports the staff at UCR. We have a support group for parents, there's costume contest, professional development, mental health resources, social events, all kinds of things. And the best way to keep these kinds of resources available to the staff at UCR is to help us by donating. So we have members of Society 54, which references the first day of instruction at UC Riverside in 1954. If you give $54 in a year, you're a member of Society 54, so we encourage everybody to join. And there is an easy way to do that. There are two easy ways to do that by going online to the Staff Assembly website, and you can either give in one lump sum or you can do a payroll deduction. So there's the link in the chat if you're interested in becoming a member, and I encourage you to be one. That will help us keep these great resources available for all of us staff at UCR. And one other such event that we're planning that is also a great fundraiser for us is the fun annual community partner fair. We're planning to have that again be in person next year in April. And if you know anyone who owns a business in the area that might be interested in reaching out to UC Riverside staff, please get in touch with me because we are actively planning for that right now. And next up, I am going to toss it over to our Director of Annual Giving, Crystal Sankey, to talk about the Day of Giving.
Thanks so much, Jules. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Crystal Sankey from the Office of Annual Giving. I'm here to make a brief announcement, like Jules said, about Giving Tuesday, which is November 30th, the Global Day of Giving. We're uniting the Highlander community in support of UCR students, research, and programs across campus, like Staff Assembly. I would like to encourage each and every one of you to visit dayofgiving.ucr.edu on November 30th. Find a cause that you're passionate about and make a gift. We're also excited to share that as part of the Beyond Brilliant student-focused fundraising initiative, and thanks to the generous support of our UCR Foundation Board of Trustees, all eligible gifts of $5 up to $500,000 to student support funds will be matched dollar for dollar. So if you make a gift of $5 or more, your donation will have double the impact for our Highlanders. So thank you. Keep an eye out for Giving Tuesday communications, and I'll now hand it over to Dennis McIver.
Thank you very much, Crystal. I appreciate it. Hi, everyone. My name is Dennis McIver. I serve as immediate past president of Staff Assembly, as well as chair-elect of the Council of UC Staff Assemblies. So for the moment, what I want to tell you about is a wonderful new initiative that is available for staff members, and it is called the UCR Staff Scholars. This is designed for people who are considering going back to school, who are in school, or who have finished school while working. And what we hope to do is build a community to support you in the amazing work that you're doing while you're studying. We already have a listserv as well as a Slack channel. We have monthly meetings, and the real goal is to make education accessible for staff members who choose to pursue it. We do have an eye towards inclusion. So whether you are finishing your high school degree or you're working towards your PhD, as I recently started this fall, this is a community for you. And so we hope that you'll spread the word about it and that you'll attend the meeting. The registration was just put into chat, so please consider signing up. And just know that we're trying to do everything we can in the foreign background to make education available to all staff who wants to pursue it. So check it out. As far as another initiative I want to tell you about, it would relate to the Council of UC Staff Assemblies. During this year, we have two key work groups we are working on. The first one we're working on is best practices for staff engagement, and really to figure out what are the best ways to use this information from the biannual survey that we do as an organization. And so we are working on identifying those best practices. The next thing that we are working on system-wide relates to anti-racism. We know the last few years in particular have proven to be very challenging when it comes to matters of race and inclusion. And so we want to do everything we can to try to create more framework to help dismantle any sort of racism within the UC. And then finally, we do have a standing committee related to internal operations of our organization, and that's to identify best practices, compile data, do things along those lines. Beyond that, we are very mindful of what's happening related to work flexibility within the UC. We sent a letter to President Drake as well as the Board of Regents regarding this. We spoke during public comment as well. And so we are sensitive to the fact that that's still an issue. We hope that we can address it in a really permanent way. If you're interested in learning more about what's happening with CUCSA, I'd encourage you all to come to our next town hall scheduled for December 15th at noon. And we'll talk more about our work groups and also hear from you. But realistically, just know that just as Staff Assembly locally is working for staff members, CUCSA is working system-wide, and we're very proud to do that work for you. Please check out more at cucsa.ucr.edu, and I will pass it over to Kathy. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Kathy and Van Horn, and I am the Director of Outreach. And my job today is to give stuff away. So, you know, I might be your favorite person. You never know. Today, we are giving away a collection of books that are written by our Chaz faculty. And the person that won this amazing prize is Michelle May. Michelle May. We will get in contact with you about how you pick up your book collection, and congratulations. Thank you everybody for listening to us, and we are about to start the big portion of our event today, which is our milestones. And I'm going to hand it over to Erica, Julie, and Jules.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Congratulations, Michelle. And Kathy, you do have a cool job. I will have to say that. So we are going to start off with recognizing our 5-year anniversary recipients. So here we go. Our first recipient is Sarah Ackrey. Next is Davina Bailey. Latasha Barnett. Kai Buckner. Andrea Campos. Lena Kanawati. Perry Chung. Vivian Chu. Kristen Danforth. Denise Davis. Patrice Delgado. Sarah Dillon. Catherine Dorff. Matt Dungan. Aurelia Espinoza. Pamela Ferre. Jorge Fregoso. Sarisha Goli. Bouquet Gonzalez. Juana Guerrero. Julia Jackson.
Megan Johnson. Kelly Cross Lee. Jason Langley. Nikita Leah. Timothy LeBlanc. Our very own Erica Leon. Robert Lopez. Ed Marshall. Carol Marquez. Monica Martinez Daniels. Ryan Mao. Kelly McGrail. Edward Medina. San Miao. Monica Miller. Ian Nafsker. Jane Notru, Fernando Nunez, Elizabeth Pena, Darren Pinkney, Tara Pushell,
And now we have Austin Dillon Quick. Let's see, Maria Azucena Reyes, Tavia Rivera, Jill Sadie, Raj Sahi, Marie Salazar Ramirez, Crystal Sankey, Susan Silva, Lanita Smith, Julio Sosa, Charles Stevenson, Tiffany Talixon, Ilsa Ungauer, Mary Voss, Kyle Walker, Mr. John Warren, Deanna Wheeler, Lois Wide, Ashley Wilkerson, Wendy Williams Clark, and Grace Yee. Congrats to all our 5-year milestoners.
Yay to our 5-year. And now we move on to our 10-year anniversaries. So we will start with Casey Adams, Jim Batista, Arlene Cano Matoti, Victor Crouch, Melissa Felix Smith, Jennifer Goupel, Amanda Gray, Terry Gutierrez, Martha Jacinto, Kamala Jackson, Jane Kim, Calvin Lewis, Lilia Lopez, Nikolai Maslov, Manuel Minwari, Samuel Ramirez, Wenceslao Regalado, Larry Rodriguez, Rita Rodriguez, Margarita Roman Rodriguez,
Shalita Smith, Richard Stevens, Anthony Vasquez, Nally Zaki. And now, so that's a 10 years, give a hand for all our 10 years. And now on to our 15 years. We have Maria Aldana, Jose Alvarado, Salvador Cardenas, Dennis David, Irene Dotson, Angel Escobar, Ivan Garcia, Deborah Huertas, James Janet, Michael Jacket, Brianne Juarez, D. White Kramer, Nicole Kramer, David Ladner, Shanshan Liao, Armando Maravilla.
Sergio Martinez, Christopher Martoni, Domenico Piazza, Yadira Tapia, and Dong Yan. Congrats again to all our 15-year milestoners. And now let's give a hand to those who have 20 years. Estela Acuna, Brandon Anderson, Rachel Atwood, Guadalupe Cazares, Nancy Cruz, Derek Dahlman, Frederick Doe, Scott Donnell, Emily Ingleshaw, Henry Gutierrez III, Oscar Jacques, Alicia Cofford, James Lynn, Don Loyola, Edward Manzano, Catherine Mendoza Frug,
Katina Napper, Jesse Orona, Jenny Robles, James Smith, Sarah Gilly, Bill Sutton, Vilman Torres, Ermia Torres, and Gary Turner. Congrats to our 20 years. That's amazing. All right, we're moving along to our 25-year recipients. And we will start with Julie Dubé, Rosemary Edmonds, Wan Sun Kim, Roderick Smith, Judy Swineford, Cindy Williams, Tanya Wine. Congrats to those 25-year recipients. Amazing. And I'll pass it back to Julie.
All right, so for our 30 years, we have Anna Cotton, Lindy Phoenix, Patricia Peñalosa, John Pereno, Daphne Pleasant, and Sally Tavazon. Let's give a hand to our 30 years. And for our 35 years, we have one recipient. Drum roll for Mr. James Clark. Congratulations to all of our recipients. That makes a total years of service 1,760 years. Congrats, everyone.
Thanks, ladies, Julie, Erica, and Jules. We're going to pass it over to our retiree, which is Mary Johnson. Sorry, almost lost the name. Mary Johnson, you're on.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank you for inviting me today The UCR Retiree Association members are excited about collaborating with Staff Assembly on upcoming events and activities. One new initiative that the UCR Retirees Association is promoting is an undergraduate student scholarship where we plan to award a UCR student with $5,000, and preference is given to the children, grandchildren, and close relatives of UCR staff and retirees. This would not be possible without the countless contributions from retired staff of UCR. For more information, please visit the Retiree and Emeriti webpage at retirees.ucr.edu. On behalf of the UCR Retiree Association, thank you for inviting me to collaborate on our new retirees. Robert Johnson, Associate Specialist for Center for Conservation Biology, 15 years of service. Irma DeLay, Associate Project Specialist for Nematology, 20 years of service. Delma Lee, Administrative Assistant 3 for the Alumni Engagement, 26 years of service. Mike Donovan, Theater Production Specialist for the Theater Facility Unit, 32 years of service. Congratulations, fellow retirees. We thank you for your valued commitment to UCR and for continuing your involvement through the UCR Retiree Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And now our final giveaway. You didn't think we were going to not talk about bingo today, I'm sure. We are having our big bingo fundraiser. It is going to be on Friday, December 17th from 6 to 8. It's a $20 buy-in, and we are giving away one free entry as our last giveaway today. So our last prize is James Jeanette. James Jeanette, we will be contacting you about how to claim your prize. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy bingo. Everyone else, please make sure you sign up, register. I'm sure the link is in the chat right now because Melanie is amazing. And I'm going to pass it back over to our president of Staff Assembly, Jeff Drode.
Thanks, Kathy. First of all, thank you to all of the folks who joined us on the call. Thank you to our featured speakers, Cecily Demetrius and Dean Williams. And just thanks for all of you. We know it's a weird time as we're transitioning back to campus, and we really do appreciate how valuable your time is. And we thank you for being here. One last person I forgot to thank at the beginning. She hasn't been on the call, but she is quote unquote flying the plane for us today. And that is our Director of Administration, Brittany Frazier, who is manning the controls, is in charge of all of this. We really do appreciate everything that she does. Apologies, I had my privacy camera on. I just got 17 messages that I needed to turn it off, so I did. So it's good to see you. Just lastly, I just want to remind you, we've got the Halloween contest coming up next month. We've got the town hall next month. We've got all of the weekly and monthly events. Best place to find out about that is by signing up for our newsletter at staffassembly.ucr.edu or following us on social media. And as always, if you have any sort of concerns, please use that email address. We'd love to hear from you. But until next time, thank you so much for coming today. Oh, and I should say a recording of this will also be available on Facebook later today. So thanks, everybody. We really appreciate you coming today.